It's project-based and requires a new proposal and contract each time.
At MAT, our agile approach starts at the very beginning with our engagement model, where we offer a one-year credit-based subscription.
There is procurement, legal, and contract signing, which all takes valuable time.
Our model provides flexibility to run surveys and to ask questions as you need to. As your focus shifts, or if there's a sudden change in priority, as we know, that is the reality, there's no need to revisit a contract or to change scope of work.
Traditional firms tend to tap the usual suspects who they know are available rather than the exact right payers. Convenience trumps quality.
At MAT, you can engage a global network of over 1,500 stakeholders who have all been vetted for their areas of expertise, geographical coverage, and have been retained by us, which means they're always available. For example, if a client wants to understand pricing implications for their gene therapy in development within the German market, in addition to the GBA perspective, we also want to get inputs from SHIs, social health insurances, to determine the level of discounts that will come down through the chain, as well as specific evidence requirements to avoid reference pricing against low-cost options.
With the traditional model, you can only ask the standard, basic questions.
Our life science experts craft questions to elicit the desired level of detail, including specific contextual and market access knowledge in a much deeper way than traditional phone interview approaches. There are also a multitude of methodologies we can utilize with RPR, which are just not practical with traditional phone interviews. For instance, conjoint or max-stiff analyses are often used when we do product attribute testing with payers. However, these analyses would lead to a number of permutations and combinations. If we have, say, 3 attributes and 3 variables, that will produce 27 different permutations. It is just not possible to do this via phone interview. However, with RPR, you can in dynamic fashion display these combinations on screen, which makes them easy to review by the payer and analyze by the RPR team.
With the traditional model, you need to set up interviews, and time is limited, so not all questions are always answered.
With RPR, every question gets answered, and experts quality check the responses as they come in.
The average elapsed time is 3 to 5 months, and there is little opportunity to circle back afterwards with follow-up questions, let alone identify key themes. It's often junior analysts who conduct the majority of the interviews, and they don't know enough to elaborate on the key questions and dig deeper.
With RPR, we can do an aggregate analysis within 5 days, and then have the full ability to go back to our stakeholders and probe further on topics which may be most controversial.
Using the interview approach, there is no way to have aggregate level data until 2 months have gone by and all the interviews have been completed. This is too late for course correction or going back to payers with follow-up questions. And even if you can go back to payers, this will often lead to recall bias.
With RPR, a second wave of research can also be conducted to build on the results of the first survey for further lines of inquiry. And if 2 weeks or a month later there are more questions, that's not a problem.
In an interview-based setting, data is often patchy because not every entire discussion guide is completed.
With RPR, every single question is answered by every single payer.
A large cumbersome deliverable is produced in 3 to 6 months. The data at the point of deliverable may already be outdated, and there is no possibility of a follow-up with payers on current events or market shifts.
With RPR, we get answers in 5 days, and a client gets their report end-to-end in 3 weeks, providing critical information in a timely fashion. For example, if we find that a payer would accept a surrogate analysis when there is a lack of head-to-head data, if we're using a phone interview approach, at most we can ask the payer to recall a few methodologies that may be appropriate for analysis. With RPR, we can take our time and reset with the client, and then allow a payer to react to specific methodologies that we have found, which will lead to a much more robust interaction.
Single survey takes 12 weeks to field.
With RPR, multi-wave surveys can be run in the same time frame.
With a traditional model, It takes 12 weeks to see responses and insights.
With RPR, responses come in as little as 5 days, and an insights report 2 weeks afterwards.
Only one opportunity to ask questions.
With RPR, we have 24/7 direct access to experts, allowing for follow-up and clarification questions at any time.
Lack of visibility into individual responses.
With RPR, we have transparent access to payer verbatims on a question and stakeholder level.
Payers must be recruited and may not always match exact requirements.
With RPR, we have a vetted, diverse, and specialized global stakeholder network ready to go.
There are cumbersome and lengthy per-project contracts and budgets.
With RPR, we have a 1-year credit-based subscription that can be used for all questions and surveys for any product, anytime. And this is why 93% of our clients repeat year after year.